to Vuka Online News at this hour. South Africans have until the end of Sunday to register to vote or update their voting details ahead of the November 4th local government elections, with Electoral Commission of South Africa warning that there will be no further opportunity to register at voting stations. Speaking during a media briefing on Saturday, IEC Chief Electoral Officer Simon Mamabolo says the final voter registration weekend had commenced on a strong footing, with more than 99% of the country's 23,699 registration stations opening on time. By midday on Saturday, the Commission had already recorded more than 238,000 interactions through registration stations and its online portal. Mamabolo said most of the activity involved registered voters updating their addresses and voting details to ensure they were registered at the correct ward ahead of the elections. KwaZulu-Natal recorded the highest number of registrations transactions by midday, followed by Eastern Cape and Gauteng, while voter activity was also reported across Limpopo, the Western Cape, and Mpumalanga, and Northwest, the Free State, and the Northern Cape. Although the final demographic figures are not yet available, Mamabolo said it was too early to determine whether there had been an increase in youth registrations. Salga encouraged younger people and first-time voters to register, saying active citizen participation was essential in shaping the leadership of municipalities and the future of communities. The South African government has launched a major initiative to repatriate the remnants of anti-apartheid freedom fighters who died in exile in Angola, calling on families to come forward as authorities began the complex task of recovering and identifying more than 400 possible graves. The program, unveiled at Freedom Park in Pretoria on Friday, marks the next phase of the government's exile repatriation of human remains program and follows the return of remains of 42 liberation struggle veterans from Zambia and Zimbabwe in September 2024. Angola has become the first focus of the 5-year plan because it holds the largest known concentration of South Africans who died during the liberation struggle. Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, has said the initiative was aimed at giving long-awaited answers to families who had spent decades not knowing where their loved ones were buried, and repatriation efforts stems from the request by military veterans to President Cyril Ramaphosa in 2019 to recover the remains of comrades who died in exile. The Department of Social Development, DSD, has urged South Africans, particularly young people, to be vigilant against fake online job offers that are increasingly being used by human traffickers to lure victims into forced criminality. The warning comes as South Africa marks a World Day Against Trafficking in Persons under the global theme Trapped Behind the Scam, which highlights how organized crime syndicates exploit fraudulent employment opportunities advertised mainly on social media. DSD Trafficking in Persons manager Butikulwane said an increasing number of young South Africans have been trafficked to scam compounds in Myanmar after accepting what appeared to be legitimate job offers in Thailand. Instead of starting new jobs, victims are taken across the Thailand-Myanmar border and forced to participate in cyber-enabled financial crimes under abusive conditions. Since 2024, several groups of South African victims have been rescued and returned home. According to the department, the victims are often promised attractive salaries, free travel, and overseas employment. Instead, many are subjected to long working hours, intimidation, violence, and debt bondage. In your sports, Wandile Duba scored twice off the bench as Kaizer Chiefs opened the scoring for their match of the season, and with the partnership premiership campaign with a convincing 3-1 victory over newly promoted Kruger United at Mbombela Stadium on Saturday. Having watched the rivals Orlando Pirates begin their title defense with victory earlier in the day, Amakhosi were equally determined to lay down an early marker under a new head coach, Fernando de Cruz. Chiefs made the perfect start as Flavio da Silva continued where he left off last season by opening the scoring after just 7 minutes, while there is still room for improvement under de Cruz. Amakhosi will be encouraged by their attacking display and the impact made by players coming off the bench as they look to build momentum heading into weekend opening weeks of the season. And Banyana coach Desiree Ellis insists her side still have every reason to believe they can reach the quarterfinals of the CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations, despite being left with a daunting final hurdle after their dramatic 2-2 draw against Ivory Coast. South Africa showed tremendous character to recover from 2 goals down, with captain Temi Kgatlana igniting the comeback with a stunning strike before second half substitute Hilda Magaya netted a dramatic late equalizer to rescue a crucial point. The result leave Banyana bottom of the Group B on 1 point after 2 matches behind leaders Ivory Coast at 4 points, while Tanzania and Burkina Faso are tied on 3 points. Coast and Tanzania to fall in their favor, with South Africa's fate no longer entirely in their own hands. For this and other sports news, tune in to Vuka Sports Hour every weekday at 3 p.m. In your weather, Pretoria will be fine and cool with temperature highs of 21 degrees. Johannesburg will be sunny and mild, temperature highs of 20 degrees. Cape Town will be mostly sunny with crisp morning, clear evening, and temperature highs of 21 degrees. Durban will be partly cloudy with isolated showers, temperature highs of 21 degrees. Bloemfontein will be fine and cold in the morning and a sunny day with temperature highs of 20 degrees. And Polokwane will be sunny and clear skies with temperature highs of 21 degrees. Rustenburg will be mostly sunny and mild with temperature highs of 23 degrees. And Uppington will be sunny and warm in the afternoon with temperature highs of 25 degrees. Port Elizabeth, though, will be mostly sunny and light winds with temperature highs of 19 degrees, while Kokompo, East London, will be mostly sunny, breezy with temperature highs of 20 degrees. For Vuka Online News, I am Monges Makalima.